रह ही जाते हैं, तो उससे हम कैसे बाहर आ सकते हैं, इसके बारे में अगर आप बताएंगे। आजकल 2-4 दिन से मैं उसी दौर से गुजर रही हूँ, तो मुझे अगर आप ये बोलेंगे तो बहुत हेल्प होगी।
See, negative thoughts, like I said, is very natural. जब हम conscious नहीं होते तो subconsciously वो negative record ही चलता है हमारे हम सबके mind में. So the best way to deal with it, and I mean, I'm not saying again, I wouldn't say I'm like an expert. I'll just tell you what I did. So whenever I used to get these continuous negative thoughts, the two things I would do. One is I started doing a lot of yoga and breathing, you know. Second thing is so I started doing a lot of Om chanting inside my head. Now I'll tell you, in my home, there is not too much of religion, surprisingly. So I was surprised because in the home there was no this thing that in the morning you have to do puja, or this is the mantra you have to read, or this is the Om chanting you have to do. Nothing. It was only under emotional, when I was in this turbulent mode, that I naturally started gravitating towards Om chanting. So whenever like for example, I had to sign a deal and it was a major deal and I was scared like hell because I did not know whether my business can take care of that expense. The whole night I was Om chanting. In the next morning I said, dekha jayega, let's sign it. So meaning thereby, I'm not saying that the bravado is the only thing which comes. There is a feeling of courage, and what happens from courage is, from this breathing and from Om chanting, it may sound very traditional, but even in modern times, it just helps your mind to go away from being the problem to being the solution. And this is interesting that either we can be the problem. That means we find ourselves in the center of the problem and we give all the reasons why the problem should be there. And they're justified reasons. Or we can move away from the problem and be part of the solution. There is a solution for everything. That much I've realized. I won't say that 20 years back or 15 years back. But there's a solution for everything. It is the passion to find solution. And the passion comes not from our own self, but the passion comes when we start believing there is a solution. And we move away from a mindset that, okay, this mind is going to only tell me problems and it's only going to decrease my courage. Let me do breathing. Let me do either Om chanting or whatever. There could be different things for different people. But let me get away from that and start and apply my mind to solution. So my mind is a great slave, but a poor master, a very poor master.
Can you please explain the medical science behind it, why it is very necessary to get up early?
See, what I would say is a couple of things. The first thing is that one is getting up early, and which is there are a lot of reasons why getting up early could be healthy and important. But what is also important is sometimes opening the windows of your mind. And when I say that is okay, so let me tell you a little about Ayurveda. I'll take 5 minutes to explain this. In Ayurveda, they talk about that our body has 3 kinds of basic energies, right? Basic energy types, which is Vata, Pitta and Kapha. So Vata is air, which is light. Pitta is fire, which is transformation. And Kapha, which is water, which is heavy. Night has a lot of Kapha energy, heavy energies. So you are likely to feel the emotions of heaviness in different ways. Morning energies are very light energies. So getting early actually opens you to lighter energies. And late nights are heavy energies. Now, but I will carry on from here. So I'll give you a little more example about Vata, Pitta and Kapha. Okay, so let me tell you. So ancient Ayurveda said that we are everything, the cosmos, the earth, the planetary system, everything which we see, experience is only 3 energies, Vata, Pitta and Kapha. Now Vata, Pitta and Kapha in a human body is defined as three energies. One is the energy like air type. The energy, like the example is air. It is dry, it is light, it moves fast. The Vata energy controls our nervous system. It controls our circulation and movement. The Pitta system is transformative energy. So it controls our liver. It controls some part of digestion. It controls anger and emotion. The Kapha energy is which builds, supports, and clings. So the Kapha energy basically is the lubrication. It's the lubrication of joints. It is the fluids in our body. The same energies also exist in the time of the day. The morning time is normally a combination of Vata energies, predominantly Vata. The lunch and the afternoon, the sun is the afternoon time is the Pitta energy, the fire energy. The night time is the Kapha energy, the water energy, the heavy energy. So the same energies also exist in food. Like for example, dahi has more of Kapha energy. Kali mirch, egg, has more of fire energy. And kala chana or kheera or kakdi has more of Vata energy, dry energy. The same energy also exists in your life. So your young days, and that's why most people who are young cannot get up early, because there's a lot of Kapha energy in their bodies. So young days are Kapha period. The period from 28 to 30 to 55 is fire energy. That's the way your fire is burning high. And that's why a lot of cholesterol problems also happen at that age. And then the senior years, from 60, 65, 70 onwards, are the Vata energy, when the dryness starts coming, right? Now, when we talk about the energy system is in time, it is in the human body, and it is also in the day. So there are rhythms of these energy systems. At night, what happens? The heavier energy systems predominate. And in the early morning, the light energy systems predominate. So most of the refined thinking you can do in the morning hours. More of the creative energy, like you want to create a love poem, you can create at night. But if you want to create a scientific solution, you'll create it in early morning hours, just when you get up. So meaning that for every kind of solution, so it depends on what you want to do. If you want to go into the creative zone, which is the zone, which is the emotional creative, which is your poetry, which is your literature, which is your movie making. Many of those energies are predominant in the evening time, in the Kapha period. Many of the philosophy, science, they are more dominant in the morning. But different people have different energy types and different rhythms. And that might be one of the reasons that mostly, as a thumb rule, they say that in the morning you are fresh for more scientific thinking, in the evening you are fresh for a more poetic thinking. But it is Ayurveda is actually very scientific. I mean, most people, at least in my doctor's circle, don't believe it. But Ayurveda is a science which has suffered a setback because of years of colonization, where most of the traditional literatures were not taught. But it is one of the very, very scientific books, and it gives you a logic for what it says. And there is also a continuity. It doesn't say something like today. If you really see some of the medical sciences, a lot of patients come and ask me, one day you say, don't you have ghee? And then after 10 years, you say, please have ghee. What's wrong with medical science? Why does it change its mind all the time? The reality is because when you assess something at a more superficial level, you keep seeing different layers, but ultimately it's not the perfect science. The perfect science comes when those layers, you go into the core. Ayurveda, you will see it emerge as one of the biggest sciences in the coming future. I can see a lot of, when we look at our inquiries which are coming on our website, we see a lot of inquiries around Ayurveda, which was not the case 10 years back. So I see a change in how people perceive Ayurveda also. So sleep depends on 2-3 things. First, it depends on your own DNA type. So some people need 6 hours of sleep, some people need 8 hours of sleep, some people even need 9 hours of sleep. So one is your DNA type. So typically cough people tend to like more sleep, and Vata people tend to like less sleep. The second is, what is the load on your system? Like for example, sports people, when they're exercising heavily, they are supposed to sleep more because otherwise their muscles will not recover. Otherwise the body will not recover. So depends. So first thing is your DNA type. Second is your load on your system. So if you are really doing a lot of mental work, your body may naturally want to sleep more. Or a physical work, your body may naturally want to sleep more. The third is your lifestyle. Meaning thereby that if you're not nourishing your body, if your body is constantly in a incorrect posture, if your body muscles are constantly fatigued because they are not they are suffering stress the whole day, then also the body may try to recover itself by sleep. So 6 to 8 hours is what the medical science says, but I have seen a lot of variation. But interestingly, I haven't tried this, so it is open to speculation. People who are able to do a lot of meditation naturally need less sleep because the meditation takes care of the recovery and the rest which the body needs. So a lot of people who are excellent yoga masters, they really actually need less sleep because they are recovering all the time through their meditation.
It was very nice to hear a medical doctor say about Ayurveda and other things, because from my own experience, I've seen that doctors generally discard homeo or Ayurveda. So how was the medical profession treating you? Why I'm asking this is, I'm a computational biologist by training, and we know that medical science do not know a lot of things. And many answers can be found in Ayurveda or certain aspects. We are seeing that. So how was medical profession treating you in general, because you were a little different from the way they were thinking? I want to know this because I would also need that tip later.
Yes. So the first thing is, the doctors were a little kind to me because I myself am a qualified medical doctor. So what happens, like if you all are IITians and one of your IITian, suppose, decides to become a sadhu, you'll be kinder to him compared to other sadhus. So the first thing is I had a little advantage. And the second thing is, I never forced my thoughts on them. I never tried to fight it out by saying, no, modern science doesn't work, Ayurveda works. Many Ayurvedic doctors actually take a very aggressive stance and they say, no, medical science is rubbish, Ayurveda is fine. I never did that. The reason being because actually I have my one foot in both in each boat. I am a scientific person by nature. I need to analyze and convince myself. So whatever I read about Ayurveda, I tried to filter it through my own logical reasoning. Like, for example, in Ayurveda, they talk about detoxification, and they have been talking about detoxification since ages. Now, in the modern science, they have realized that detoxification as a procedure works, especially for chronic disorders like arthritis, asthma. Now, why chronic disorders? Because any disorder always begins with an acute symptom. And slowly, as we keep, not changing our ways, the body compensates. The symptoms go into the deeper layer and the deeper layer. Now, once the symptoms have reached very deep layers, they manifest themselves as chronic asthma and arthritis or many other chronic conditions. In these chronic conditions, superficial medicines and especially the medicines which we use in modern medical science don't work. Because modern medical science works at an instant level. It doesn't work at a deeper level. In that case, we have seen that detoxification and Ayurvedic treatments actually work because they start removing the embedded toxins from the deeper layers. Now, with doctors, with modern medicine doctors, the best approach is, what I have seen with my friends is, I don't challenge them. I only say, in chronic cases, can we fix the nutrition? Can we give them some herbs so that the liver improves? Doctors are fine with this. The thing which doctors are not fine is, modern medical doctors, is the moment an Ayurvedic doctor says, I will treat you, I will cure you. Because I don't know how many of you have been in North India, Muzaffarnagar and all. On the walls you will see Shartiya Ilaj. Sampark kare Dr. Such and Such ko. That's what modern doctors are completely anti. That how can you do a Shartiya Ilaj? Cancer treatment. I mean, all over Meerut, Muzaffarnagar, you will see cancer treatment. 90 din mein paisa wapas. If we don't do that as professionals, then modern medicine doctors are also okay to kind of allow a little space for Ayurveda.
Or some particular music every day to improve our mind in a particular way we want.
Yes, absolutely. I use a lot of I use a lot of music and breathing in my own life, and therefore, but what kind would be? I mean, you can always find. You'll have to search because it appeals. Different kind of music appeals to different people in different ways. So I use a lot of Om chanting. It's the simplest, easy to find, and I just play it on and on and on. I do breathing, but I think for each person is a different kind of rhythm which appeals to them. But they all work.
Could you suggest something for the young generation, I mean the kids, that how do we train them on this nutrition and Ayurvedic aspects right from the beginning? So it's like training their roots in the right direction. So probably the fruits would be better, after
Yes.
20 years.
Absolutely. I think some of the things which we can do is create an environment where healthy habits are practiced. So, for example, one of the things which I did at my own house is that I looked at my cupboard and there were Haldiram bhujia, there was chips, there was Lay's, it was full. I said, what am I doing? I always used to bring them कि कोई guest आएगा तो उसको कुछ देना है. I said, forget it, guest तो आता नहीं, मैं ही खाती रहती हूँ. I removed everything. कि जब आएगा देखा जाएगा. So first thing is that create an environment of healthy things. Now, see, I was not a great fruit eater. You'll be surprised. I started eating fruits only after college because I realized that, oh God, I'm not eating fruits. And this is going to, impact me adversely. So I started putting fruits on the dining table so that I keep looking at it and I eat it. So some of these so create an environment of health. Like, for example, if you start some health practice, which could be yoga or which could be breathing or which could be anything, whatever you like, the younger ones in the family will watch you. And they are like monkeys. They will absorb. Whatever you do, they'll absorb. And then it'll stay in the subconscious, they'll do it again. They will try it. See, the main thing we can do for the next generation is give them information, awareness and experience. You cannot force anybody today. Information that this exists, this is healthy, this is nice, this is going to help you. Awareness and experience is very important. If they experience that thing, it stays in their emotional memory. Emotional memories are all experiences we have gone through. So I think we are running out of time, but thank you so much for coming here. Thank you so much for sharing this 1 hour with me. And I'm really delighted to be here at IIT Bombay, and I hope I can leave you with some of these interesting pieces of information which I have experienced myself. Thank you.